All right, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. And if you are watching the video stream after the fact, again, thank you for tuning in. This is the Wicked Podcast team. My name is Dorian. My co host Rarity is right beside me as well. Just wishing you a
Hello.
good evening. Wanted to get your thoughts, see how you're doing this evening as well.
Hello, everybody. As you heard, my name is Rarity Blair, fellow co hosts. And it's good to be on the air. It's good to be, getting our voice back out there today.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Been a couple of days since we were live, trying to do more regular podcasts in the city again, give people something to listen to, kind of tap into what is going on with everybody's lives. You can literally tell us anything, talk about anything, let us know what your thoughts are. We're here
And
for
of
it.
course, remember to use hashtag podcast to get in contact with us. Thoughts, opinions, conversation, topics, anything you want to hear, we'll talk about it as long as it doesn't go against our rules.
Yeah, for the most part,
Other
try to
than
keep gang
that,
stuff out of it.
yeah. Or, controversial topics, like politics or things like that, religion, etc., etc.
Mm. There are.
But to start off, we do want to talk about on the 8th and the 9th, we are
Mm.
hosting almost an all day auditions. We're holding auditions for not just talent, but for every single role that we have possible within our company. We need management, we need staff members, we need people who want to make CDs, we need delivery drivers, we need artists, we need singers, music producers, every single thing, graphic designers as well to make our ads and everything. So if you guys want a job, you want to work for a record company, come on by on the 8th and the 9th. And depending on our traffic, we may hold another one on that following Monday or so, depending on traffic. But if you're interested, let us know. We'll get your information, we'll get y'all set, and we'll, think about welcoming you to the family.
Yeah, definitely a great opportunity to work for one of the, in my opinion, greatest companies in the city, doing a multitude of things. Music production, CD production, like Rarity said, you can do delivery driving, make great money, or move further up the ladder. Like I said, the music production, podcast production. There are a lot of different opportunities available right now. Managers are needed as well, so just hit us up. We do have those dates coming up. It's going to be a good time no matter what.
We will also be handing out flyers, at random points over the next week or so to kind of get some more things out. So look for us probably out at Pillbox or like some more high end places like that we know that are well populated. Yeah, just keep an eye out. We'd love to hear from every single person in life out here. And if you want to become an artist, do know that we do have Blackout Records that is being signed with us as well, and they're going to be working as a co-record company with us in our own building. So you guys have the ability to work with not just one record company, but two.
Yeah, truly some great opportunities to get, whether you are, a DJ producing beats, you are someone that can put lyrics to a track, you got a voice you want to present to the world, even writing lyrics. I mean, an opportunity for a lot of different people to collaborate in a lot of different ways with some great talent already on board that can help you kind of direct things whatever way you want to go. Truly a great opportunity. So come see us. Let us know what you're thinking. We'd love to help you grow in any way we can.
Definitely, definitely. After that, I don't know what to talk about. I was thinking about that boot camp. It was crazy to see how many new officers there are going to be.
Well, I was told there was only 10 or 15 candidates from the many, many candidates that were selected to participate in that. Like, there was a lot of
That's
people,
still
a
a
hell of a
large,
turnout.
that's a
Yeah.
large group still.
Yeah, no, absolutely. People should be taking note that the police force is going to have some more members. So, without going into too much, that allows for some more things to happen in the city a little more frequently. And expect a little more response if you are doing certain things. The police
I
are here
wonder if
to
that
help.
number counts canines as well, or if it's just the officers themselves.
Well, yeah, the city's information system doesn't show details as clearly as it used to, so it's hard to see exactly who's on doing what. But there are going to be more police officers overall that are going to be available to assist in multiple situations. So
Yes, yes, there are. I know. I honestly loved being out there at that boot camp because to see all those dogs, it was crazy how many puppers were out there. They were so, they all just look amazing up in their vests, and I love their custom vests too. Like Vader has like Dark Vader on his chest, and the donut has a little donut like the it looks like the Simpsons donut to replace the Owen police.
of course, yes, donut. I remember
Yeah.
working on donut quite a few times at the hospital. That is one dog always happy to put their lives on the line for the citizens of the city.
It's honestly just amazing seeing all those dogs do all their work and everything.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. And the officers, too. We've got some really hard-working people that work for the city that are usually underappreciated. Some of them, fair to middling, but we've got some great people that are working for us as well. So I am thankful for that. And that was a hell of a turnout. Again, everyone that turned out for that boot camp, congratulations. You put yourself through kind of, the situations that police officers have to deal with. You got to have some fun. So I hope it was a good time for everyone at the very least, even if you aren't selected to join the department.
I'm pretty sure if you weren't selected for the department this time, there's always a second time. I doubt that will be the only boot camp that they ever do.
Yeah, no, I mean it really just it depends on what what the department needs ultimately, I suppose. I don't know if they'll need more recruits after the turnout that they had last time for a little while. We'll see what happens. Hopefully everyone does a good job, can stay on board.
Yeah, definitely. I think we got our first hashtag podcast.
Perfect, perfect. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Absolutely. Doing great.
It's Mark Williams.
Fantastic. Hope you're doing well as well, Mark. And
Also,
yeah,
something I found out, if you notice in our background, apparently spray paint, does more than just outside. As we would put our names on the wall.
yes, yeah, we can do it inside and outside now. Just going to be marking the entire place up. There's just Rockford Records on top, and then Queen Rarity on the bricks outside,
Hell yeah, Queen of Rarity.
and Queen Latifah, courtesy of Roman, who's not with us at the moment. But
Yo, I'm sorry. I felt myself today. I had to do it. But it's so cool being able to, tag things now and, give, some of these walls something to look at. And also thank
right,
you, Charlie, for the positive positivity calling the podcast fire, even though we just begun.
yeah, thank you, appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, opinions, anything you want us to talk about, anything you want to talk about, use the hashtag. Let us know. Happy to discuss. And other than that, how are you doing, Rarity? Other than the last time, well, since the last time, I should say, we've been on the
uh,
podcast. Having a good couple of
doing
days.
pretty well. Other than now trying to sell my Rocket Bunny,
Hmm.
advertisement up in here. If anybody
Absolutely.
wants a Nissan 240 SX body kit, please let me know. Trying to sell mine. It is a VIP ticket though, so keep that in mind, my
It's a
dear
hell of a
lovelies.
car, folks. It's got a bottle of NO2 in the back. You can clearly see just ready to right into
Oh,
the
it's a
fuel
drifting
injection.
car, man. That thing ooh, that spin on that
Hell,
body.
hell yeah. It's a nice car, I will say. If I didn't already have too many cars, I'd consider it. But if you have the money to spare, 800K and a VIP ticket, it's well worth it because it's a very, very limited car from what I remember. But yeah, other than that, just more typical days in the city. The Vanilla Unicorn event the other day was fantastic. I know there was a dance competition there. I'm pretty sure Macarena and Andy won that competition, so congratulations to them.
Ooh.
I was present for the beginning of that event. Didn't stay. I wasn't able to stay, I should say, as long as I would have liked because of some other business going on. But I did hear it was a good time. So again, congratulations to them. And if there's any events that you're planning you want advertised through the podcast, different means, let us know. We're happy to help.
Definitely congratulations to the winners. You know, the dance contest. I really wish I was able to be in the city sooner for that. I just, I was a bit, tired, tuckered out. Um, but I heard it went well, and so I'm, props up to Vanilla Unicorn for their phenomenal event that did happen. And hopefully it won't be one of a kind. It'd be really cool to see some more dance contests. Maybe not just by Vanilla Unicorn, but also, maybe another company. Maybe some dance contests against each other.
Yeah, competitions. I know there was a great karaoke event recently that we weren't live to promote beforehand, but we certainly would have.
We also do have two hashtag podcasts. The first one is by Mark asking, "What is our opinion on crime in the city?" My opinion, it's a bit finicky of how we can answer this because our rules of what we're allowed to say, uh, not allowed to say, but topics we can cover. We don't want to be too controversial, but there's crime, in every single city. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Um, it'd be kind of cool to see something more than just people robbing banks, though, or like, I can't see the appeal of being a criminal, honestly, in my mind, because I feel like that just gets so repetitive at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, like any other city, we do have crime present. I mean, people do what they have to do to survive ultimately. I would just ask that anyone who's making a living on those means, remember, you know, don't be taking advantage of people who are down bad. It's, we got people that are new to the city. Don't be just robbing folks off the street, things like that. It's very discouraging to someone who just flew in, doesn't have much, and they get their pockets ran by somebody who's wearing a flag that has enough money to not worry about small fish in the sea. So just, try and support your community where you can is the biggest thing that I can ask. Other than that, make
Or
your money.
hell, at least if you're gonna take them, at least give them a sandwich or teach them a lesson. I remember my first days being in the city, got hostage taken. But it wasn't a bad one. They actually gave me some food, they gave me some water, they taught me a few lessons of the city, and sent me on my way.
And
So there's these things that can happen.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things you can do to make sure that the person that you're relying on to help you out in that situation is comfortable and maybe would consider helping in some way in the future. But Charlie, I didn't want to ignore your hot hashtag there either. Eventually, yes, there will be Rockford sponsored parties, and I mean any events that are out there that people want us to help collaborate with. We're happy to do so. Happy to discuss rates, and the entire
And
space
we
is for rent. The
yes, we
lounge.
do have quite a lot of rental
Yes, indeed.
possibilities. So if anybody wants us to become a sponsor for an event or would like to do anything within the record company, we also have a place where we're renting out for parties. Just check us out on the email. It's all information's there. And anything else you need to know is just ask us. And the 8th and the 9th is gonna kind of be like a party type thing. It's gonna be kind of a more laid back auditions. We're gonna be playing music, just having a good old time, meeting people. on the 8th and 9th for our upcoming all day auditions. So I guess maybe yes to the party ideal.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be definitely showing off the lounge area, showing our hall system off, playing some music, things like that, while people are coming through for auditions. So that is definitely going to be a good time.
Yeah, we have a pool table as well. You know, people can come up, use the pool table. Basically, the Rockford's gonna be open to the public. Uh, Fully open on the 8th and the 9th. So come on by if you guys wanting to see the property, but never had the chance to.
Yeah, and like I said, it's going to be a great opportunity for just communication, collaboration with a lot of different groups, a lot of aspiring artists, music producers, beat producers, graphic designers. We've got a lot of talent that we work with that are happy to help in and out of city. So if you're interested and want to make a potential career or living out of music, just come hit us up.
And we do welcome everybody from all walks of life. Rather you're in a family, you're a flag, anything. We seriously will work with every single person, definitely if you're an artist. So don't let your past deter you from, doing something you want to do and get your voice out there, guys. This is a bit more laid back podcast, unlike our first one. That was really bumping because we had like 17,000 people up in here.
Yeah, definitely a little more laid back and a little more last minute because we weren't exactly 100% on going live tonight. But again, we want to make it a more regular thing no matter what. Touch base at the community. Let you know that we're here no matter who is able to stop by, what their schedules might be. And we're going to have obviously rotating guests. So if you've got something to say, you'd like to audition for a spot at the microphone on the podcast, just let us know. It would be a great opportunity to get your voice out. And again, if you're interested in podcast production, obviously we're looking for more regular hosts as well. So that's part of what the audition is all about. Show us what you got.
We need people from all time zones, guys. You know, a lot of us normally are Eastern, but we need some Morning people too. And also, if you have any ideas for different kind of podcasts and what we do, we want to hear it. We want to hear your ideas, your thoughts, every single thing, because you guys are the reason why we really do this. So let us know your thoughts, your ideas, concerns, anything.
Yeah, literally, we've done everything from mature theme to superstitions and folklore to, I mean, there's a lot of different
A
directions that
four
you can.
hour horror podcast.
Right, right. There's so many different directions we can go. So we're happy to discuss your ideas. You bring us your ideas too. Like I said during the audition, maybe we can make a branching off of different episodes, things like that. It all helps us be more regular with fresh content. So let us know.
Also, do know for any companies that are out there listening to us, we do offer advertisement as well. We do have packages. If you want to get on the air, you want us to speak for you, anything like that, let us know. You can come up here. We can speak for you. You can speak for yourself. You can send someone to speak for you. Anything at all, just let us know and we will work with you guys. We want to help. We want to help everybody in the community. And we mean every single company from, the smaller ones to the, high ends, whatever, and just whatever. You got a job, you want somebody to know about it? Let us know.
Yeah, definitely. There's no better advertising opportunity than literal voices in the city saying, "Hey, this is the latest advertisement from whatever company. I can't say anything specific because we're not getting paid to. But if you
Yep.
want to pay us, to advertise, then we are more than happy to do so. There are a lot of great companies out there doing a lot of great things. Just let us know how we can help and we
And
can
we also
discuss a
do
price.
hold advertisement not just for businesses, but parties, events, everything in between, man. Let us know. I'm more than happy to work with everybody out there. Such a laid back podcast. I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, just
Uh,
let us know what your thoughts are, how you're doing, what you'd want us to talk about. Otherwise, we're going to talk about random subjects that are occurring in the city and out of the city.
yeah, how is random thing? Everybody who's out there listening to us right now, how are all of you guys doing? How is your weekend? Well, no, today's Monday, right? Yeah, how's your Monday going?
Mine personally definitely can't complain. Another productive day, and as long as you're having a decent productive day, you can't really ask for more than that. So,
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Productiveness is where it's at.
absolutely. And I hope everyone's been having a good day so far, making money, doing what you want to do the way you want to do it. If there's anything you want us to talk about, hashtag podcast, we are happy to discuss. Other than that, like I said, just random topics for today. Getting into the habit of being more of a regular podcast again because it's been a little while. So
Yeah, it has been. We were doing it 3 times a week. I think we kind of burn out a bit faster that way. So we're gonna start trying to do these podcasts about 2 times a week, guys, if not a little bit more, depending on how many people we're gonna get in our teams. If we have more teammates to actually do these podcasts and everything, you will be hearing our voices a lot more. But until then, we're gonna kind of stick back a little, do 1 or 2 a week, with just me and Troy, until we can actually start finding those people to fill some of these positions. So please don't be scared if you want to get your voice out there, you think you got the voice, the confidence to be on air, let us know, guys. We want to hear it.
yeah, it's definitely a good time, and for the most part, it's no holds barred conversations. We can talk about a lot of different things as long as it's not breaking certain terms of service for the record company or certain terms of service for the city. Again, we can't go too specific into advertising, gangs, things like that. Obviously, we remain as neutral as we can be in that regard when we're on
Yeah.
air.
This building is neutral zone.
Absolutely.
Other than that, we're pretty free. We talk about anything we want, to video games, to movies. I just thought about it. I started watching a movie last night. I started watching The Kingsman again.
The latest one that was set like during World War One was a really good movie. I actually watched that not that long ago. I was like, damn, all right.
Dude, I started watching the original one, the Secret Service one, the one that came out in 2014.
I will say I
It's
haven't seen any of the other ones.
crazy to think that's how long ago that thing came out.
Time flies, definitely.
Oh my god, you talk about time flies. I would have never. I looked it up. I'm like, are you kidding me? 20 fucking 14? Like, in 2 years, that's gonna be 10 years ago.
Yeah,
What the hell?
yeah, for sure. Those are I like I said, I haven't seen any of the other ones, but the latest one they did, I
Oh,
watched. I was like,
yeah.
it's pretty good. So now I have to go back and watch the other ones.
Yeah, that's the movie I was trying to get you to watch yesterday.
Yeah, no, we got caught up in business that cannot be aired. But um, yeah, no, we I've gotta go back and watch those movies.
Oh, it's so amazing. And I do know something I really want to start doing is start movie nights again. Um, within the city. We're very limited for what movies we are able to play in the city, guys. But I have found some that do work. So if you guys want to have movie nights, chill out nights, pajama parties, let us know because we're gonna start celebrating. Just throwing out some random events. I honestly love the masquerade party one that I had done, so may do that one again. You there? I think the man may have went into his head. If you
No,
guys
no,
have
not at all.
any, oh, there you are.
I'm here, and yeah, no, the parties like the masquerade party, definitely a good time.
Yeah, I like to see what people can come up with that, the themes of it. I like theme parties more than anything because you get to see people's creativity.
Yeah, for sure, giving people the different options to come as whatever, like you said, whatever their creativity can come up with. It's a lot of fun to see. That's why I like the karaoke nights and things like that too, because it just allows an opportunity to see some of the talent and creativity in the city. Even if it's a completely funny act that you're doing for like karaoke night, it's still entirely valued because it's a good time.
Wasn't there like a decades party that I think I remember hearing about that was supposed to happen recently or maybe have had already happened? It's supposed to be like the 90s, the 80s, the 2000s type thing, something like that.
I know there was something like that at Cockatoos recently, which yeah, that was a good time as well. I mean, just seeing all the different types of parties and events people can come up with. You're not necessarily even limited to just the clubs either. There are a lot of different venues. Rockford Records being another one we're trying to provide, where you can just have different types of events that you can come up with, rent the space out, and enjoy. I know there are other
I'm
business owners
thinking
that
of a mob party.
uh, and whatever people can come up with and pay. Absolutely, you know. Hey,
Like I'm gonna probably get that wrong. I want to say the 50s. I don't know if that's mob era.
it can well, I mean, it can be depending on what specific time period where you're looking at. Like 50s is like Vegas mob era,
I'm
but
thinking not freak. Oh, my brain. Why? Trying to think. The main mobster himself. My brain.
I don't know who you might be thinking of.
List the mobsters and I can tell you. I can't think of any of them right now. Oh no.
Um, well,
Al Capone.
Al Capone was 30s.
That's what I'm thinking. The 30s. There you go. I'm thinking like a 30s mobster party.
Well, that's pinstripe suits, cigars, fedoras,
Yeah.
bootleg booze. So we've got the stage for it. We can get some flapper girls up there and do some swing dancing kind of thing. I mean, we can definitely do theme nights here for sure. We've got the space for it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Al Capone, yeah, that kind of era, like a mobster party. Kill the girls up in those like dresses that we have. Like put some of those outfits to use. Like we have the clothing, it's just it's never used.
It's true.
Have
I
some
mean,
like
people.
pin up hairstyles,
Mm-hmm.
everything.
You've got like the beehives and things like that. I think in the city that people never use because there's, like you said, there's never a reason to. But you get a good theme night. There you go. Come out with your best, craziest styles.
I think that may be the next party. If anybody steals this party ideal, you got it from us. You better better
Well,
give us freaking, rights to it.
we've got the best space for something like that. So if you do want to do a theme party, something we've got, like I said, we've got some great spaces to rent out. Even different hangout nights. We've got a fully functioning pool table, the recording studios. You want a studio to yourself for a certain set of time with your people, record something, just hang out for a while. We can make it happen. So let us know. We also have a mansion property up at 909, which is going to be available for rental as well for different parties, things like that. So, if you're looking for good views, a pool, that kind of venue, we can provide that also. Everything is negotiable for the rentals, so just let us know.
Hmm. I haven't seen many hashtag podcasts. Hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. I can't get Al Capone out of my head now. And I'm thinking not just Al Capone, but also why does my brain want to go burr? I'm thinking about people. It's a group of two people that were really good at being mob, like people who rob people.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you're thinking of, but those would be more bank robbers than mobsters. They just dressed for the time period. But like Bonnie and Clyde, for example,
Those two. That's what I was thinking about. Bonnie and
yeah,
Clyde.
not exactly mobsters, but very, very good bank robbers.
Well, yeah, not
Until they got
not
caught
mobsters,
and
but they were
shot.
quite
But
infamous. You know.
yeah, well, because it was a first for the time period. The duo of lovers robbing banks and then finally getting gunned down by the feds. It's a hell of a story. That's why they made so many movies out of that story.
Definitely. Oh, Bonnie and Clyde, and then I just thought of like um Johnny Roger, a pirate. I'm just my brain's just going everywhere tonight. I remember I don't know why, but I'm going through things that I had to do in school, like papers that I had to do on people. And then like I just thought of like um the ship, the oh, why is my I have the thoughts and then my brain says no, no information for you,
The
but you
ship.
know it,
You're
but you
offering
don't
very
know it.
vague information. The Titanic?
No, no, pirate ship. Infamous black pirate ship.
Um, well, like Blackbeard's ship.
Yeah,
What was that?
Blackbeard's. Was it the Black Pearl? Is that
No, I think his was the
no,
Queen
that's
Anne's
sorry, that's
Revenge.
yeah, that's pirates. What's the actual fucking name of the actual boat?
Uh,
It's gonna kill me. What is it?
well, folks, not sure the synapses are firing the way they're supposed to this evening, but if you have any idea what she's talking about, do let us know with hashtag podcast because I don't know what the hell ship she's talking about. I think the Queen Anne's Revenge was Blackbeard's. Um, but I don't even know. Like, I don't think the Black Pearl was an actual pirate vessel. I could be wrong, but I think that's just more fictional. Well, she's trying to think of this though.
Uh,
I will say I watched.
I was trying to think about it. I even looked it up.
Mm-mm.
Um, so the one by Blackbeard himself was the Queen Anne's
See,
Revenge.
see, I was right. It is the Queen
Yeah.
Anne's Revenge. Yes.
But yeah, no, like it was a full blacked out pirate ship. I
Bla-
remember doing um a research paper on Blackbeard himself.
Blackbeard is a hell of an individual. He was, he would go and he would attack. Like Charles Vane, who was a nasty bastard, was the exact opposite. But Blackbeard would go and like raid slave ships in the Caribbean and free everyone aboard. Just an amazing dude doing good work alongside being a pirate, just taking out the monarchical powers at the time that were not afraid
And
of
what's sad is
trading
he got
people.
such a bad name for it.
Well, I mean, and everyone who committed piracy eventually got a bad name, just because the powers that be didn't like having their money stolen, but they were also engaging in human trafficking, which he worked against. So he's pretty cool for that alone. Like, but yeah, a really, really interesting figure in history. I was watching recently, Our Flag Means Death, which is like an HBO series, and it's about him and kind of like this quote unquote gentleman from England that becomes a pirate because he's bored. And it's an actual, like, it's a fictional take on an actual historical account, and it's a fucking hilarious show. But it's also just kind of cool to see, it's just the different historical takes on Blackbeard, because a lot of what like lived was this horrible figure that used, and he was a pretty badass pirate, but he was also just a cool dude. Like there are people in history that seem like they'd be pretty cool to just sit and have a drink with, and I think he'd be one of them, just to
Hmm.
hear his life story.
Oh, good lord, there's quite a few people um that I would love to talk to if I had that kind of chance. Amelia Earhart would be one of them. The uh the what she traversed, first flight woman in flight, it's a big thing what she did. Sure hope I have the right name right now.
No, you do.
All
That
right,
is,
all
yes,
right.
indeed. Yep.
Okay, brain somewhat working today.
Um,
She's actually another person I had to do another paper on.
yeah, definitely one of the interesting figures in history. I was trying to remember. I think they found like bone or pieces of plane or something on an island
Wherever she
in
went down,
Asia.
like
Yeah.
just disappeared. Like just to be able to speak to her, like if like somehow she knew what happened, like where'd you go? Like the hell does the Bermuda Triangle put people? Like serious. It's like it reminds me of the plane that had what 60, 70, 80 people on it.
Oh,
And
MH370.
yeah, and just disappeared off
But
the
I mean,
face of the earth.
if you go down, there's a lot of research and reporting that's gone into that. If you go down in that area of the Pacific, it's very difficult to track you. And if the black box gets damaged, something like that, you're gone. They have found pieces of aircraft that could belong to that plane, but it most likely made a hard water landing and disintegrated. And um, that's that's the way it goes, I guess. Sometimes there are a lot of questions as to what happened, whether or not the pilot got confused with navigation and ran out of fuel, because apparently it was in the air for a lot longer than it should have been,
Really?
as a number one. But yeah, so there are some question marks still with what happened. But yeah, in regard to the Bermuda Triangle specifically, there is a story of, it's from after World War II, and there's this group of like that era style heavy aircraft, like the bombers and whatnot, doing
Mhm.
training runs. And not only did the original training group get lost in that area because of like communications errors, things like that, just really weird things, but the group that went to go find them, who weren't trainees but actually trained pilots, also gone forever. Just gone.
Yeah, didn't wasn't there another group that went out that disappeared from the Bermuda Triangle and wound up being on the other side of the planet? Like,
Yeah,
wasn't there a story like that?
at the very least, communications and navigation, things like that, especially when they used to be more analog, going off of like magnetic poles and things like that, used to be a lot easier to confuse our instruments. I mean, you really don't hear about things going missing in the Bermuda Triangle anymore for that
But think
reason, I
about
think.
that though, like imagine you think you're going, you're leaving America, go or wherever the closest other place, Mexico, whatever, Florida, whatever, somewhere near us, Puerto Rico, the near us, I don't know, don't know continents. I'm gonna continue. Um, just but imagine just flying, going to Bermuda Triangle, everything goes wonky, and then you're reported on the other side of the planet. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
have
mean,
to think about that because of how far that flight is. Like, how did you get there with your single tank of gas?
right. Well, that was the biggest question, especially for the time, like, because um, flight times and fuel is still extremely important because you don't fill a jet full of fuel. You only fill it for as much as it's going to need for the journey because that's better fuel economy. So, like, also accounting for
And also
jets
all the
winding up.
luggage and et
Yeah,
cetera, et
right.
cetera.
So, winding a jet winding up where it shouldn't and still having the fuel to fly, again, alone is concerning. But one of the answers to that is if you're caught in an air current and a jet is riding the jet stream without knowing it's riding the jet stream, it can have better fuel economy than expected. So you can go further than initially anticipated while you're flying. But um, there are a lot of factors that go into all of that. And there's a lot of weird things that people have reported, especially in aircraft. And now, of course, to kind of hop subjects a bit, we have the U.S. government, the U.S. Navy, Air Force releasing all of their unidentified footage of the things that they've seen they can't quite explain that they've tried to keep hidden for years. So it's an interesting time
Something
for.
I was just told in my ears is I got noticed the fact of if we think about the Bermuda Triangle, it's all magnetic. That's why so many of the systems that go wonky. But if we think about magnetics and the energy fields, they're constantly moving. So a theory that was brought up is the fact that the reason why we're no longer hearing things about the Bermuda Triangle is because the original Bermuda Triangle has moved. That magnetic energy is moved, and they're thinking it's moved towards Florida itself, or it's kind of engulfing Florida because apparently all the weird and wonky things that have been happening there in the past year or so.
It's interesting to think about. I haven't really researched too much into that to know. I mean, of course, like the magnetic center of the Earth, the North and South Pole, the magnetic poles, those move. So it makes sense that other magnetic fields on the planet would move, especially when the planet is hit by like solar flares, things like that. I know people in the Midwest, like North, South Dakota, that area, all the way over to Colorado, got a really cool show the other day with the Northern Lights because of a solar flare.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So like if they're constantly moving, why wouldn't that move itself?
Yeah, true enough. I mean, I don't know enough about how things like that, how magnetic fields shift on the planet to say for certain, but it certainly makes sense, especially because everything is always in motion.
Yeah, definitely if you even pull up the radar and they show you like the currency of how not just the wind, but they if I'm correct, they also show the magnetic fields of the planet of how they're always moving. Or even just the currency of not currency, but actually no, currency as in water flow, like how the current flows. Like they're always showing that. So they're always showing like the wind, the air, everything. So it's like it's really crazy to look at that. If you take a moment to sit back and actually stare at that for a bit, it's really crazy to see where some of it ends, some of it starts,
Hey,
and then
Johnny, how
some
you
of it just
doing?
starts
Thanks
out
for
of
joining me.
nowhere. When there's something
Got
going
about
one way, it
10
goes the
minutes left
other.
in this podcast. Been a pretty good one so far. Yeah, it's It's amazing the meteorological, that's always a tough word for me, the meteorological data that we have on the planet now. And you always got to remember, ultimately, we're on a big rock hurtling through the infinite void of space at about, what, 150,000 miles a second or some crazy number like that. But gravity keeps us all in check, you know? It's just absolutely incredible. So who's to say a magnetic field shifting to a different spot that can fuck up your instruments and put you somewhere else on the planet? Of course, anything is absolutely possible. I will say too, we're
It's
probably
plausible, always plausible.
right, and we're entering into a time period where we're going to be able to rely less and less on our electronics functioning because the sun is entering a period of high activity. So the more we're hit with solar flares, things like that,
It's
the
gonna
better
fuck up
chance
a
that,
lot of stuff.
yeah, exactly. So,
I feel like a lot of people better start learning SOS codes, those fucking dot signals.
well, for more reason than one. I mean, whether it's a goddamn, a Cold War that goes hot, or a solar flare that knocks out your electronics, or God knows what else. Um,
You have some way
just
for Morse code out there to start communicating like the old times.
right, be ready. Be ready to go into survival mode if you need to. It's the unfortunate times that
They
we live
talked
in.
about basically the zombie apocalypse starting without the zombies.
But I use that as a good metaphor to just enjoy current life as much as you can, too. Don't get too wrapped up in stress, things like that. You never know when things might change to a point that you can enjoy things the way you can now. So just enjoy yourself, no matter what that means to you. Do
It's
what you
sad that
can.
we can't enjoy ourselves the way we really want to, like before 2019.
Well, it depends how much risk you want to take. But
Well, you know what I mean, but like parties and things like that, like how
hey,
things
thanks,
used to
Johnny. I
happen,
appreciate it.
Like I miss seeing one of my best friends because she has a whole family, she has her little kids and everything, and like she doesn't want to risk that for the world. And I back her up 100%, but God, do I miss her. Like I miss being able to see her.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's definitely changed the dynamic of how people communicate, but it's also provided new means and opportunities for people to communicate in different ways and work in different ways. Like,
Yeah, she's gotten tired of not being able to talk, so she bombards me now with messages about trying to find games that are cross-platform for me and her
right,
to play.
right. And Game Pass is great for that. Someone with an Xbox or even
She's got a
sometimes a
PS4,
PlayStation.
so we're just
Right.
trying to figure out like certain games that she can actually get that'll work for me as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's provided because of necessity. It's provided people a lot more ways to work and communicate, and like remote work is becoming more commonly accepted and probably not going away anytime soon. So it's new ways to make money and like content creation, things like that. That's exploded in the last couple of years. So whether it's in the city, out of the city, you think you have a voice, you think you're creative, funny, there are ways to make a living, that didn't necessarily exist the same way a couple of years ago.
Ain't that the truth? And something else I thought about when we were talking about Earth and everything. Um, bring back subjects I kept learning in school. Why is all my stuff from school coming back in my brain now? But um, thinking of content of water, the two seas that meet and don't actually mix together. I forgot what those two seas were called, but like they're two clearly different colored oceans,
They do
and they
mix.
meet.
They do mix under the ocean waves. Just the current makes them meet in such a way, and it's a freshwater and a saltwater body of water, and that's where the meeting point occurs. But they are so different in salinization content, things like that you get to see you get to see that literal process occurring. But like above the waves, it looks like it's not, but below the waves, they do mix there. The currents
Well,
do
yeah,
merge.
they'd have to. It's not like it should be still like completely still standing. But I just think it's cool for the top part, like what we get to see. Like, really get to see that kinda difference, and also reminds me of, like, the pink lake, and then, like, the black lake,
Right.
and then the red one that people thought the world was suddenly bleeding, like, the world was bleeding red,
Or the Dead Sea, where like the salt content is so high that nothing can really exist in it for too long without dying. Like birds get
and
caught in there and die.
yeah, like, I've seen people put, like, a shirt in it and pull it back out, and it's just salt encrusted. I'm like, "Good lord, that happened
Yeah.
fast." I feel like can make some really excellent salt scrubs, though.
Well, it's that entire area is disappearing too because of climate change. Like the Dead
Oh,
Sea
yeah, that's
probably
true.
won't exist too much longer.
Good lord, watching all just talking about all this now just makes me wanna go back to watching the, National Geographic.
Yeah, yeah.
Just go back to being that's kinda what I used to watch a lot when I was in school. Like, yeah, I watch my cartoons here and there, stuff like that, but I was always on, like, History Channel or, like, Nat Geographic or, like, Animal Planet or Sci-Fi. Like, I was just always on all these learning channels because I thought it was much cooler to be on them.
Jesus, I remember Jeff Corwin on like what was it, Discovery Kids when I was young. I don't even remember what happened to that guy, but Jeff Corwin, if you're out there, I remember your show. God.
Or How It's Made. That used to be my favorite show because you learn so much in how everyday products were made.
Right.
I remember when they came out with the ATM one, I'm like, "Why are you making this? This is gonna show people just how to break into your ATM."
Well, I mean, there was a generation of criminals that were raised to some extent. I mean, so they love to throw us into prison for anything. So they were probably teaching us how to do things so they could throw us into prison.
I hear Garrus. Is Garrus wanting to talk in the podcast?
Yes, well, Garrus always has a voice. He's a cat that cannot be silenced. He will be heard.
Remember, guys, if you're just tuning in, use hashtag podcast. You can talk with us. I know this isn't as fun as the first one we did, but definitely talk to us. Let us know, like, what did you guys grow up listening to or watching? I was a more of a I hated learning in school, but I loved learning when I was on the TV.
Well, that's the biggest thing, and we're in the closing minutes, folks. So if you do want to talk to us, now is the time for hashtag podcast. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up pretty shortly. But yeah, that's always the thing with education in general, and it's why I always have valued instructors that could make learning interesting and engaging. Just spitting information out at somebody, that's not a good way to get what you want. People to pay attention mostly. Like you got to make it interesting for people always, whether it's a kid, it's an adult. If you're just spitting out information, people don't retain it very well.
Ain't that the truth? I couldn't learn with that at all. I couldn't learn with just blurring out, blurring out, blurring out. That's why I like when Bill Nye the Science Guy. Science class when they start pulling out his shows and start teaching us, like, that was the
Hmm.
best way I learned anything.
Yeah, I mean, the best teachers in my experience to an extent are people that can put on a performance as well. Like, that's why Jesus acting class was always one of the most fun because your teacher is an actor, someone that can put on a performance and make it interesting to learn. Or at least they should be able to, otherwise, they should not be teaching the class.
All right, I feel like that's something we should probably also start tweeting out more, is telling people how to you know, actually listen to us.
Yeah, I did put out how to a couple of times while we were live, but it's definitely something with didn't have enough lead up time today, but we need to make sure people know in advance. But we
Yeah.
are for now for this podcast at the 1 hour mark, so we can go ahead and wrap it up. Everyone that was able to tune in or listening after the fact or watching the video uh, recording of the podcast, because that's something that happens as well. Thank you for joining us. As always, hope you have a great rest of the week until we talk to you next time. And that is it. Just keep making money. Stay positive. I'll
Stay
kick it over to
positive,
Rarity.
everyone. We all love you, and you guys are the reason why we do this. And we'll see